Counter-Strike 2 is real. It's here. And that's a big deal because it has been a bad week for E3. First, VGC reported that Ubisoft would be skipping E3 this year. The next day, IGN reported rumors swirl around E3's future as Sega, even more publishers, back out. And finally, 2 days after that, IGN had the scoop, the blunt headline: E3 has been canceled. And I feel like I should talk about it on this show. I feel like there's a certain expectation I should, right? Historically speaking, I'm kind of an E3 guy.
Happy E3.
Happy E3, Bossman. It's great to see you.
But I'm finding I don't have much new to say about this subject. There doesn't seem to be that finality, firstly. ESA's probably going to try this whole thing again next year. Can we know for sure? Is it too early to eulogize this event? But also, I've been making fun of E3 on this show for a while now. The information flow hasn't been great. Celebrating E3 is pure buffoonery. E3 is a corpse wearing sunglasses being grotesquely puppeteered by sociopathic nephews. We don't need me to be mean tonight, but I also don't think we need me to be reminiscent. You know, E3 used to be very good. It was a very good thing. And I think that was despite the ESA running it. I think it was just a very exciting time in video games. Just like a video game magazine used to entertain me for weeks of bus rides. Just like 3D video games appearing used to be unthinkably mind-blowing. Just their existence. So what I worry is that the Nintendo 64 is basically the Woodstock of my generation. Just this revolutionary social event that no other generation really wants to hear about. Like, I can't think of a time in my life where someone has talked about Woodstock and what it meant and how good their time was, and I've been interested in hearing about it. And I kind of think that might be what it sounds like when I talk about how good E3 used to be. So instead, I thought it might be more fun to talk about this week's very un-E3-like presentation of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which was announced on a Monday, presented on a Wednesday, and now has almost 5 million views. Here we have series producer Eiji Aonuma sitting in a white void, being as boring as possible. Listen to what his translator sounds like.
We'll fight it using the branch we just picked up. Ah, the branch broke. Not good, not good.
That should be unacceptable. You can't talk to people like that. But I like it. I like the vibe. I like the tone of that thing. It is anti-E3. It is anti, hey, here I am. Hey, look, here I am. Ba-ba-ba-bum, here I am. Hey. And as promised, it was over 10 minutes. It's a long demonstration. And technically speaking, none of the features shown off are new. Free-falling, phasing through ceilings, rewinding time on an object, gluing a vehicle together. They were all seen in previous trailers, but it was fleeting. Huh, what is this? What do you think that is? What do you think that was? And also, yeah, they were all filed for patents. Worth mentioning, I guess. But I was surprised that this presentation, this opportunity to see more Tears of the Kingdom than everything combined up to this point, was so focused on just these new features. They wanted to come out and explain what is functionally different about this game. And they're all stupid powers. Link, you have the power to rewind time, but only on very specific objects. Link, you have the power to phase through any matter, but only directly up. That's fun though. That's video gamey. I like that. But where they really pulled me in is, Link, you have the power to glue shit. Go ahead, Link, glue a stick to a rock. And it was here that it became clear to me why this direct sequel that borrows so many assets from its predecessor has been taking so long. One, COVID happened for a minute there, always worth acknowledging. But two, this game is broken. They're developing a broken game on purpose. We hadn't seen anything really of Tears of the Kingdom yet. Gamers wanted dungeons and plot and new outfits. And in this presentation, they said, well, hold on. Look at all this dumb shit you can do.
I'm sure some of you watching me play were thinking, wait, if you could do that, then maybe you could do this too. In this game, you can do a lot of things just by thinking about what's even possible.
So I really like that attitude. There's been many times in my life where a developer is presenting some stupid new feature that doesn't quite make sense, and they open their arms wide, and they say, imagine the possibilities that this opens up. And you're just like, no, I can't. I'm thinking of like the Xbox HoloLens stuff, just like pinching some Minecraft around. Like, what is this though? Here with Tears of the Kingdom, yeah, you got me. I am imagining things I would love to do in this game. I want to break the game. I want to trap a horse and a pig in a cage and then jet boost it up into the sky and see where they land. I can't wait to try that out. And I must acknowledge that yes, part of the novelty, part of why that is exciting, is that it would be happening in the mythical land of Hyrule, inside of Nintendo's most prestigious franchise, than say, Goat Simulator. This isn't what they had to do with a Zelda sequel, but they wanted to do it anyway. And it's a good presentation. This is low-key, unassuming, quiet, patient, and on its own terms, ends up exciting. So yeah, E3 may in fact be gone forever, who knows? But at the same time, I do think that gameplay demonstrations like the one Zelda had this week are worthy of appreciation. E3 was our biker babe. They were dangerous times, thrill rides, great tattoos, but now we're finding ourselves in maybe a more responsible and healthy relationship, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't want to buy these though. Was this whole thing just leading up to buy these things, please? I don't want a new case, man. That's delayed input for this week. Thanks for watching. So I was pretty nice to Nintendo this week, but I could not end this video without pointing out a little bit of classic E3 BS.
Like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, there's a vast world to explore. Of course, it's not just the same world as is. It's changed in many ways. If we talk about all of the changes today, we'll run out of time, so we hope you'll seek them out for yourself when the game launches.
Surely we have time for you to name one difference. Name one. Name one. We've got time. This is a classic BSing technique, and I can't believe Aonuma was bold enough to try it. For instance, if somebody tells you that they've kissed so many soccer players that it would take all day to list them all, they've probably only kissed one or two soccer players. In the same way, I'm now nervous that there's actually not that many differences going on the ground level of Tears of the Kingdom. And I do think it is worth constantly reiterating that this is abnormal for a brand new Zelda sequel to be built upon the same geographic map as the game right before it. Please give us $70.
There's still a lot of new gameplay, mysteries, and encounters we couldn't show today, but they're all jam-packed into this unfamiliar Hyrule.
Is it unfamiliar? I haven't played Breath of the Wild in 6 years since it came out, and even still I was seeing things I recognized. There's the old horse tent. Finally, this moment cracks me up.
Looks like it's got some sort of fan. Ah! I got pushed off! Oh well, let's just return to the surface.
I actually love this positivity, but it is BS. If one of these robots grabs a giant fan and blows me off of a sky island, it is not going to be, oh well. It's going to be an unending string of swear words the whole way down. And this freak knows it. He knows. He knows that managing rage is part of the reason video games are fun in the first place. Don't be tricked by the general demeanor. There is still a biker babe in there.